The first thought is that K-pop channels could make insightful opinions that say something but also being in-depth to start a discussion, but I don't think they care. I feel like people who title their opinions as harsh or brutal, and also in the video say things in the intro as if their opinions are gonna deliver WTF takes when it doesn't, these people would rather market themselves as if their opinions are gonna get cancelled just because it brings in engagement, which would help the video do well. Any type of engagement to the video is good engagement to the K-pop channel, methinks, and so that could be a possibility why K-pop channels go this route of marketing their overused, bland and boring opinions is something cancelable when the whole video, short as a skip. I know that there are K-pop channels only doing the K-pop content for views and not because they have fun with it, and so it's not far off to think this way about some of the view-hungry K-pop channels who just say anything, add anything into their unpopular K-pop opinions content for it to do well. As long as they can make this content because nobody really calls out K-pop opinions for their bland and overused takes, they don't care, and the channel can get away with making as many opinions videos, shorts as they want without having to actually come up with takes each time, because K-pop stans will eat it up anyways with the, I agree, and the immature stans will eat it up too with the hateful comments and negativity. So yeah. The next thought is that, can I just be honest? K-pop Demon Hunters doesn't interest me because it feels like a cash grab to get a piece of the K-pop pie because of how popular K-pop is. K-pop is so popular, and so any type of venture like this will get eaten up by fans, good or bad, but my main issue with this is that it's K-pop Demon Hunters, and it being K-pop throws me off, which made me see it as a cash grab even if I didn't watch it, and it might be good, but even then, it could still be a cash grab even if it's good and made with care and made properly. I think it's a cash grab because do you think Netflix or Sony Pictures Animation, whoever made it, would make a Kpop Demon Hunters, Kpop is pop from Kazakhstan, or Tpop Demon Hunters, Tpop is pop from Thailand? I don't think so, because they're not as big as K-pop is, and so the people who made this possibly did so for the cash grab, and it's working because people I know on Discord talk about it. I see videos, shorts recommended to me about the show, channels that I follow are making covers, making mashups, or making lyric videos with the songs. The show doesn't seem to be flopping if people are doing content of it talking about it. You cannot tell me the people making this genuinely wanted to make a K-pop animated movie, because we cannot be so sure how honest they were only because of this. It's just that it could be any country, but why K-pop specifically? I just noticed this from the first time I saw the trailer, and it made me go, WTF. I know I sound weird because I haven't watched it yet, and I don't think I ever will because of this, but it's just not it. The story could be good, the songs could be fire, I have checked out nothing from this show at all, but the thought will still remain in my head. I know y'all are gonna tell me to watch it first before judging, but me watching it is literally going against what I think the show is, and so I'll be giving into something I don't wanna invest in. So no, I will not watch it because I cannot see it any other way. Even if the animation studio got proper people to work on it to make it good and that the show is genuinely good, it doesn't take away from the fact that my point could be true. I also see it because of people wanting to use K-pop like some toy without actually caring for the genre, and I hate that because K-pop is not just a popular genre. K-pop artists work hard to get noticed only for people to wanna ride on that popularity for a quick buck they'll know K-pop stans will give them, which wouldn't have come if K-pop groups never worked hard at all to make the genre popular. I only care because of that. I don't wanna be a part of it for that reason. You guys can continue supporting the show, but I do not want to watch it. The next thought is that, on the topic of K-pop Demon Hunters, people hate virtual idols and K-pop and get scared of them, but why is the hypocrisy of K-pop stans showing when K-pop stans are literally making K-pop Demon Hunters popular by eating that shit up? Virtual idols are basically animated characters who sing and dance, where the voices who sing the song are human, so isn't that the same with K-pop Demon Hunter songs having animated characters who sing voiced by humans? You guys are so hypocritical, it's funny. You cannot say one thing, and do the other. If y'all really had a problem with virtual idols, y'all wouldn't be here watching the show and eating it up. It shows even more how y'all just say things to hate on said things or complain about them, but never put any action to stop them from being a part of your K-pop stan life. If y'all don't like virtual idols, y'all should have boycotted the show for it and only watched K-pop music related shows done by humans, but I don't think y'all care enough and only have a problem with something so that someone will agree with you when you complain on your channel and then move on with your day. The next thought is that, I already talked about this before in separate points, but on the topic of K-pop stans hypocrisy, K-pop stans are hypocrites, and the hypocrite K-pop stans do not include ones with valid critiques, but only ones who tantrum complain, and I got plenty of examples to give. K-pop stans complain about short songs, but are never there making videos promoting longer music that exists in K-pop. They're one day complaining about the short songs, and the next day they're listening to the same groups making short songs like they didn't just complain about song lengths a day prior. K-pop stans complain about K-pop not being about the music anymore, but they're never finding for K-pop songs that make K-pop and about the music, and the next day they are continuing to promote these groups on their channels that make them say K-pop isn't about the music anymore. K-pop stans hate minors debuting, but don't promote adult idols that exist, and don't boycott the minors, but continue to listen to them. K-pop stans complain about so many things, but when it comes to taking action against these things to bring about change for themselves because they have a problem with these things for them to complain less, they do nothing and continue living their lives as K-pop stans as if they did not just complain about the very said thing they continue to devour. It's so annoying because if you're still gonna continue doing what you tantrum cry against, then why tantrum cry in the first place when you're not gonna do anything about it? Why do you say these things on your channel one day but then the next day you're making a fun playlist video including every single group and song you had complaints on? Why the fake? This is annoying, if you don't actually care. Just give up the act and continue doing what you wanna do. I don't have a problem with you streaming short songs, listening to minors and doing such things. I just care when you're talking about it for people to say, I agree, this should stop, so you'll get many people in agreement, and you only said that to appeal to others because you never actually care about these things and just say it for attention. The next thought is that, I do agree that we don't need to have meaningful lyrics all the time and we just need fun non-serious lyrics, but then again, the non-serious and fun lyrics need to be worked on too. I don't want a song to come out and the song is supposed to be catchy, stuck in your head like, but the lyrics are so lazy like the people writing the song just repeated words over and over, and with some K-pop songs being short the repetitive part of the song comes back faster in the song since verses are short and the song probably doesn't have bridges. The lyrics have to be at least good enough where it doesn't sound like someone quickly made the song for it just to be that one line or word being the most used in the song because it's repeated 10,000 times in the song over other parts. Non-serious lyric songs don't have to just be simple and fun and nothing too poetic, they also have to be worked on enough where the song doesn't just come off as, I wrote one word line 100 times and I'm done, like a teacher in the classroom telling you to write, I will not do X thing anymore, 100 times. Fun is not meant to make you listen to the song once and then hate it because the song goes nowhere lyrically. Fun is not meant for you to hate the song instantly as you listen to it. Fun is not meant for the song to get old quickly and the song barely released a couple of days ago. Fun is not meant for the lyrics to sound so annoying that you could have just released the instrumental version only without the vocals. All these factors for hating a song could be down to the lyrics being nothing serious but also nothing good because there was nothing to the lyrics to actually elevate the song other than making it come out as a song meant to be viral. Fun songs don't mean you push the quality to the back when making the song and just release some lyrical nonsense garbage that shouldn't have been released in the first place because there's nothing fun about it. The next thought is that, because since a lot of channels overuse opinions and the responses to them being similar or the same thing said by other channels, or the vague statement response to the opinion that doesn't explain the channel's thoughts at all, when was the last time a K-pop channel making K-pop opinions content actually used their thinking? K-pop opinions or any type of, my unpopular opinions, content is a thought-based content leading to have to think of new takes to say on things you've noticed that made you think this way based on how you noticed it. K-pop opinions content is you sharing your thoughts, but K-pop channels don't actually or rarely share their thoughts anymore. Plus, there are some channels who could just be saying certain opinions to appeal to other people to get them to agree, which again isn't using their own thinking from their own observations, rather just sharing what they want people to hear so people can give them views through agreement. Even with looking at channels making an opinions video and it's their first video but the opinions are nothing new or thought-provoking or are overused, there was no thinking done at all and will never be there even for future videos, unless they mature and think better in the future as they realize that they need to make better opinions, which I highly doubt it. K-pop channels focus too much on the "I want to trigger K-pop stans," that the thinking gets lost because they never actually trigger fans with realness and do so with already said takes that were used by someone else also trying to trigger K-pop stans, and so the thinking gets lost. So, when was their thinking ever shining through with this content? Was their thinking never there to begin with? Do they care about thinking but never do so in exchange for views because they don't want to give real talks to people? IDK, but these K-pop channels just leave me wondering if they've ever used their thinking at one point on their channels that wasn't just someone else's thoughts reused again and again by everyone and their mothers. The next thought is that, I don't hate Rosieri, I love their channel a lot and I'm not hating on them, but rather disagreeing with a take they said. Let me show you a bit of their opinion so you can get a background to what I talk about, and share my response to it as to why I don't agree with it.
Let's call it what it is. Idol forgiveness is a popularity contest. If you're backed by a big 4 label, or have a fan base big enough to trend hashtags in 5 languages, you're almost untouchable. Apology? Optional. Accountability? Delayed. People will spin entire essays to defend you, even when the mistake is glaring. But if you're from a smaller company, good luck. One slip-up, no matter how minor or how fast you apologize, and it's career over. The hypocrisy is loud. We see idols from top-tier groups bounce back from controversies that would have ended a Nugu's career in a week. Why? Because money talks. Influence cushions the blow. Smaller groups get dragged through months of backlash with no PR machine to clean it up. What's frustrating is that it has nothing to do with the actual mistake, and everything to do with who's making it.
The 8th, in their video it's the 8th opinion. Opinion is false, because people need to know the group exists to cancel them. When most people talk about Nugus or lesser-known groups, it's mostly the bigger budgeted ones who are from labels who can promote them, give them good MVs and such for K-pop stans to know their existence is there, with examples being Resin, Tribe, Woo-ah, Elast, 9i, Lightsum, Weekly and others. Do people know the real bottom of the iceberg? Nugus, for example, 257, Prism, AZM, Argon, CC, Trusty, Betch, On Air and others. No, and that's why groups from smaller companies cannot have their careers ended, because even if someone stumbles upon a smaller group's scandal and talks about it, there's no guarantee that it'll gain traction. Plus, there's so many groups that debut in K-pop where K-pop stans would go, who? If you ask them if they know X group. And for more proof to show you guys what I'm saying is true, here are some examples. Sweech is a pre-debut boy group under DNA Entertainment, the same company as Great Guys. They have a controversy that is too long for me to say, and so I'll just show you a screenshot of their controversy from Kpop Wiki. Another example being Girl Crush, now named Straw, who are a sexy concepted girl group who had some lineup changes, and one of the current members, Hyun, joined the group. She was a minor and they all accepted her despite the company saying something about her being a trainee member and that she will join as an adult, but was still allowed to join as a minor. They even have a sexy concepted song with 2 dance practices with Hyun, and she's a minor in those dance practices. Another example is M-Prism, a girl group made up of Liz Entertainment idols, and there are 2 members in the group that were formerly from Liz Entertainment's previous group Girls World, and they're said to be bullies. These 3 are examples where I did see some little talks about Girl Crush and Hyun, but it wasn't enough, and the other 2 groups, I wouldn't have known about what their controversies are if I didn't look up the groups or see it somewhere on Facebook groups I'm on for Nugus. These 3 are groups where I bet you that K-pop stans do not know about them or their controversies. Maybe Girl Crush would be known by some rare K-pop stans, but the other 2 groups I don't think so. So, in actuality, people first need to know the group to cancel them, because if Rosieri is talking about Nugu group careers ending within a week due to whatever the reasons they mentioned in the clip, Rosieri doesn't actually know Nugus in the fullest. The side of K-pop that is the bigger sized side is filled with groups that debut, groups that are pre-debut but never actually debut, and groups that are said to be announced but never come to be. So many groups disband after debut and have rare chances of getting lucky to stay longer. There are so many groups in the industry that will make you go, who are they? Rather than you knowing them. The small amount of groups that you know about, plus the small Nugu unpopular groups that you know about, are not the only ones in the industry. There are a lot of extremely Nugu groups, even Nuguer than the ones y'all claim as Nugu. So many groups come and go that it's genuinely hard to keep up. If any of these extremely nugu groups went into controversy, and someone tried to report on the group, as I said earlier, there's no guarantee that the controversy will reach people or get big enough for people to notice it. Maybe it'll get known to people by pure luck or something, but unlike popular groups, do you think these nugu group scandals are gonna be going on and on forever like popular group scandals do? There are people who still hate on idols who have been falsely accused of bullying even if the bullying has been proven to be fake, but for nugas, actual smaller bottom of the iceberg nugas, people don't know them much to care about them unless they're open to checking out nugas, and so even if their controversies get traction, it'll be forgotten easily because the group is not big enough for people to notice them. So what exactly will they be getting backlash for? The next thought is that, I've already talked about overexcitement for releases only to get let down, but I wanted to talk about it again but add more to it. Take sneakers for example. People saw the teasers and thought ITZY were gonna do some royal concept, but then were played when the song didn't come out that way, leading Yull to hate JYP for it or something, but the problem is that it's not completely JYP's fault, it's also you guys getting overexcited and assuming things only for Yull to be played. Like, why can't y'all just be normal when it comes to things like these? Y'all blame the company when the sound is mismatched to what y'all thought it would be, but you guys are also the ones to blame for making the song out to be something it may not be just from the teaser. You guys look at the teaser of a song and think, oh, we getting this sound, and then y'all get so hyped and overexcited when y'all don't know if the sound will be exactly as you thought it would because y'all assumed things from a teaser or a trailer or something. Y'all hear a snippet of the song or watch a snippet of the MV and already have full sounds, concepts, visuals and other things planned in your head when that teaser isn't enough to tell you what the song and MV will be like, but you're here putting two and two together only to not like when things don't go as you imagined because it's something completely different. You guys need to stop being so overexcited for music when that just leads you to be disappointed. Just patiently wait for the comeback and make judgments then instead of making full complete ideas before the comeback even happens. The next thought is that, this thought is a more personal to me thought. Besides the whole dark side of the K-pop industry with being an idol, I wouldn't wanna be an idol for other reasons, and that reason is the music aspect. Because I sing really well, and the type of music I'd wanna release if I was a singer, I'm more of a soft singer, would be indie pop-like music, maybe indie rock, some EDM-like songs, more chill-based or tri-melodic dubstep. I would wanna try out Afro music and also make acoustic chill-like aesthetic music. I wouldn't wanna be a K-pop idol in a group or a soloist under a company where we do music that I might actually hate and not wanna do, where the music we do might not fit me or my vocals, where I'm meant to sing in a key that doesn't work for me, hitting notes I cannot hit and my vocals are getting slowly damaged doing music that doesn't fit my vocal cords at all. It would suck, because I would wanna do music that not only is one I can do, but one that can work around my vocals to not strain it into doing something I cannot. So I can imagine with the amount of idols that debut, popular idols, nugu idols, how many of them are in the same position I wouldn't wanna be in as an idol, where the company makes them musically do things they don't wanna do and cannot do, and also maybe the idol having to put on a fake singing voice that is not their own, musically holding the idol's creativity back to stick to whatever the company makes them do. Thinking about this makes me sad for idols who are stuck doing music that is not them, singing in vocals that is not them, and putting on a show that is not them, besides of course the fake personalities. This is why I'm glad I'm not someone who wants to become a K-pop idol, because the dark side paired with the musical aspect, no thanks. The next thought is that, K-pop stans say K-pop is boring or K-pop is mid and their base is mostly the mainstream popular K-pop artists. I've come to think for this thought, that maybe K-pop stans say K-pop is boring or K-pop is mid because the K-pop artists they base this argument on are not releasing the music that they want. What I mean by that, is that K-pop stans probably like specific genres in music. Take me for example, where even though I like any genre music as long as I vibe, my all-time top favorite genres in music are ballads, EDM and indie, with Afro music which I DK if it's a genre or not, and I do like and listen to loud and or fast-paced music, but I have a preference more in slower-paced songs that are particularly chill and also aesthetic. My examples were to show what I like, and so maybe K-pop stans have a love for a particular genre and preference in a particular type of songs, and since K-pop artists, that they look at, may not be providing them with those sounds the K-pop stans like, the K-pop stans might be finding K-pop boring, mid because they cannot find enjoyment in other songs if they prefer a certain type of song. As I said many times before, to expand your limited view on K-pop and explore more, because K-pop is not only the mainstream side and 5 to 6 popular artists do not speak for everyone, and searching up more songs may give you the song that you prefer and want more of, with artists you can stan. Coming back to me as a music listener, when listening to rap, I prefer raps that are catchy, rapped over fun instrumentals, like EDM instrumentals, or rapped over aesthetic instrumentals, and also raps that are emotional and raps that are chill. I do not like edgy raps, raps that are diss track-like, raps that are rapped over a fire beat trying to spit flow in any of those types of raps, and it's rare that I'll like these types of raps because of my preference in certain raps over others. And so, that's why in the same way I think K-pop stans find K-pop boring or mid because of not finding songs suited to their taste, since some stans prefer certain songs that are maybe not being delivered to them. K-pop is also a mixing pot of different genres, and not everyone is doing one sound, concept, style of music, etc. And K-pop stans must have come to like a certain type of music, and so another reason because of that could be why K-pop stans must be finding K-pop boring mid. Explore more and you'll find what you're looking for. Also, you looking at mostly popular artists where they follow trends and release a certain sound for music which possibly you never gelled with, making you again find K-pop boring mid too. Explore more and you'll find what you're looking for. The next thought is that, I'm pretty sure this exists amongst K-pop stans, and I'm gonna say it. You guys hate K-pop songs in English probably for the song trying to cater to the West or something and not sounding as good as K-pop releases and all those things, and while I can agree that some of the things y'all say about this is a valid critique, why do you care about English songs by K-pop artists overall? English music in Korea exists no matter what the genre, and even some English songs exist with poor grammar, poor lyric writing and pronunciation, a good example being Jisoo's Summer Romance, where she mispronounces some words, has some wrong grammar and such, and that exists too.
I might be drunk and you thought we had some beers. I'm pretty sure not illa queer, but there's some kind of love holding on each other's hands. I'm tempting your lips sincere. You're looking at me, oh boy, focusing on me. Oh, at a life, I wish there were lives in country. No, I'm just a tourist in where you love. Oh baby,
yes, K-pop groups might be releasing English music to cater to the West and not really releasing good music in terms of the lyrics, grammar and whatnot, but it's not an uncommon thing for Korean artists, since me who searches up new songs all the time to promote on my channel, I always find English music, good grammar, lyrics, bad grammar, lyrics, amongst the Korean releases. English is a widely spoken language in the world and you're bound to find English music in any language music apart from the main or other languages that are spoken there, so my main argument here is the same. English in music exists outside of the mainstream K-pop bubble amongst other genres where artists have full English songs or English versions of their songs and you can find enough English songs for a playlist video. Your hate for English music may be a valid critique, but also remember that there are other artists existing in Korea releasing English music just to release English music, and not for any particular reason, like Western catering, and plus there are also Korean artists from other genres releasing English songs with poor grammar, lyrics, and it's not just K-pop. K-pop may be doing certain things for the West, for it being a trend or for certain reasons, but others do it because they want to. The next thought is that, I had this thought watching a random upload I made once where from a video where I just speak unscripted into my phone's microphone titled, New Jeans Are Not Overrated, and basically I was talking about how they're not overrated and they're just a couple of months old. The video was made in March 2023, and they debuted in 2022, and that them being associated with hype is why they're getting a lot of attention and that give them some time before calling them overrated. My thought was inspired by that, and it made me think. Y'all call groups like Baby Monster for example overrated, but y'all don't see the problem in calling such groups overrated, especially if they're from the big 3 plus hype, and any of their sub-labels, because any groups debuting under these labels get noticed one way or the other and people know they exist and give them attention. People get hyped for these new groups pre-debut and talk about them a lot pre-debut, after debut and for the rest of their careers, and debuting under these companies gives you a little more of a head start compared to other labels in terms of reaching success. You debuting under any of these labels currently makes you become the group K-pop stans notice more because you're already in the spotlight compared to other groups who struggle just to get even a few fans to know they exist. K-pop stans make them that way by overhyping them, the overstreaming, the fan wars and other such things where K-pop stans are doing all they can for a group to probably keep them relevant, which translates to you seeing them as overrated because they're a known group under big and huge labels for K-pop stans to know them and make them popular and do things for them. K-pop stans are the reasons these groups become overrated in your eyes. They do so much for groups who might not even be that good, which of course in turn gives you these thoughts about them. The next thought is that, before I begin, I'm not making this thought directed towards people who have valid reasons to complain and are actually saying something with these complaints. This is directed only for the crybaby K-pop stans who complain for no reason and just wanna cry about it. K-pop stans say, K-pop songs are getting shorter, minors debut more, K-pop is not about the music anymore and other such things that people complain about. I want you to show me proof so I can counter-argue that with the proof that I have off long K-pop songs, adults in the industry, and music to show that K-pop is indeed still about the music. I want you guys to show me the proof of artists and songs so I can see how many artists and songs y'all show me and I can count them and compare them to the artists that are adults, making K-pop songs that are long and also making songs that show K-pop stans that K-pop is about the music still. My reasoning for you guys to show proof is because I want y'all to get the reality check to show you guys that the proof that I provide to counter your argument is more than the proof you give to show that this is happening in K-pop. Yes, it's definitely happening in K-pop, but again for the millionth time, you equate it to feel like the whole industry does it when they don't, and you again for the millionth time say these things on a small handful of mainstream groups who make you think that way when you're not actually researching at all to see if it's true or not. You can't just say these things about K-pop songs getting shorter, minors debuting more and K-pop isn't about the music anymore amongst other such things if you don't know if it's actually true. You hear others say it and believe it too because you've seen it happening more, but tell me this, how many artists are doing it? Is it a lot of artists you've seen do this for you to agree that it's happening more? Because if it's just 5 to 6 artists, for example, in the mainstream K-pop sphere out of the many that debut and make comebacks each year, then that would make what you say only half true or a quarter true and not what is really the case. Your lack of research is your downfall in these cases because you guys always make complaints like these but y'all are only basing it off the same few groups existing in the mainstream K-pop sphere, and any new groups y'all add to these complaints that y'all have are obviously gonna be ones who come from the big 3 plus Hybe or other bigger labels like Starship, Cube etc. And y'all never actually do the real research looking beyond them to make you even come off as someone who is trying to find the real truth. Your complaints are nothing if you keep looking at the same groups, companies and their music each time a new thing to complain about in K-pop comes around. It's not fair because the actual people who do the opposite of what you complain about, which can make you happy as a K-pop stan to complain less about these things, are never getting any support from you who wants these things you complain about to stop because you're never looking for answers, only complaining about these things constantly. The next thought is that, I've noticed that there are some K-pop opinions videos out there where the channel is sharing thoughts on a scandal per se, an idol or group being racist for example. I don't like how the opinion the channel is sharing is not really an opinion because they're not giving their own opinion to what they think about the scandal, and it feels like they're just recapping the scandal itself and moving on. That is not sharing your opinions on an opinion, but rather you're just resharing what happened in the scandal again without providing my thoughts part. It's odd knowing that you saw it as an opinion without looking back at it and seeing, oh, my thoughts are not really shared here, and then deleting it, because you still keep it in the video. It shows that you guys don't recheck if your thoughts are actually there in the opinion or not. You guys do definitely need a proofreader for your opinions, tying into a previous K-pop thoughts video I've made. Opinions videos are meant for you to share your thoughts on K-pop, the music, the fandom and other things, but when your thoughts are nowhere to be found in that particular opinion and a few seconds got wasted of you explaining nothing, then what was the point of keeping the opinion in the video as if it's gonna spark a reaction? It might spark an, I agree, and some small paragraph, but not from people who saw through the opinion and saw that there wasn't an opinion in the first place. The final thought is that, I've talked about before how I believe that Attract is innocent in the 50-50 scandal. Why? Because Kina chose to stay and not leave with the rest of the former members, which means she was made aware of new information and likely apologized. Now I believe attract over the 50-50 former members because of this, and this is why I support 50-50 and not a Bloom which has the other remaining members who left. So, by this showing that attract is innocent in this case in my eyes, 50-50 hurt their popularity with this scandal and are now back to Nugudum when they could have gotten out of Nugudum with songs being as popular as Cupid, if they released more music to help build their popularity, but they've hurt their popularity chances and now are gonna not be that successful as a Bloom, even 50-50 now will not be as successful as they once were with Cupid. This scandal brought them both back to Nugudum.
I hope you live with peace now.